My name is Steve. Welcome to my shop. And this is Shark Bits, episode number 28. This Shark Bits episode is a little different in that I have actually been shooting clips for it over the past 2 weeks. So it's kind of a compilation of a lot of different things that have been happening in the shop. But right now, I just got some mail. I just brought it in from the mailbox. And this is a result of some interaction that happened on the Facebook YouTube Machinist page. There was somebody selling mandrels for grinding stones for the surface grinder. I've been looking for some. And Ray Cornelia of Ray's Garage had made an offer and bought 3 of them. They accepted his offer, and I guess that the guy got the idea after he did that, with all the interest in them, that they were worth more. So I made an offer for 3 at the same thing that Ray did, and it was turned down. So I ended up making a counter offer for 2. And I won it. And so I got 2 of the mandrels for the grinding stones. They're brand new. They look really nice. And they're a little bit smaller diameter, which is a good thing because I've actually got a cup wheel that I'm looking to mount. So got some more work ahead of me. These are designed for like a 1/2 inch grinding wheel. And I've got some 1/4 inch grinding wheels. And I've got some cutoff wheels. So I'm going to make a couple of spacers for them. Got some viewer mail in this week. A note from Aid's Workshop. I got another sticker to add to my collection. I've run out of room on my whiteboards because I want to keep some space on the whiteboard to write on. And in the top of one of my toolboxes, I've run out of room there. So I am now putting stickers on the door of my chemical storage cabinet. There you go, Aid's Workshop. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. I was working on a project the other day, setting up my dial indicator, and I needed a different tip for the dial indicator. And I've got a few odds and ends, but I didn't have what I wanted. And I really don't have a set of them. So I picked up an inexpensive set from Shars. Ultimately, I'd like to get one of those rings, the Starrett rings with the set of it on, but I couldn't find one of them. Well, there it is. Some different extensions, some different points, different lengths. This is the one that I needed the other day, actually. Was one with a flat face on it. That would have come in very handy. So add that to my dial indicator collection. When I purchased my 10-inch Atlas lathe, I got a 4-jaw chuck, which is in good shape, a 3-jaw chuck that is marginal, but I did not get a faceplate. I've been looking for one for a while, and I just picked one up on eBay, fairly inexpensive, because they listed it as having some pitting on the surface. Really doesn't make too much difference to me, and so what I'm going to do is take it over, put it on the lathe, and face it off. Not only it'll true it up for my lathe, but it'll get rid of the pitting. Okay, that's a pretty nice shape. I like it. I'll just take and knock the edge off of it. Very good. This is an item that I have been looking for a while, and I have checked eBay, and I just can't really seem to find the right thing on eBay. They show individual pieces, and I wasn't sure about what worked with what to put it together. And a few days ago, Adam Booth, A-Bomb 79, was cutting a groove, and he showed this groove cutting tool, and it was available from KBC, and he gave a link to it, and I went online, and it's called a mini thin grooving and cutoff set, and it comes with multiple size grooving tools, made in USA. I don't see the manufacturer on it. It's their part number is 293-015, and I'll put that in the description. It looks pretty nice. So thank you, A-Bomb 79, for the suggestion. And I ordered this, and within an hour of when I ordered it, I got a phone call from KBC welcoming me as a new customer. And I made sure to tell them that I had seen this on A-Bomb's channel. And he told me that he had checked and he saw that I was a YouTuber also, and said if I ever need a hand with something, just to give him a call. So thank you, Steve at KBC Tools. I just got a delivery today of some shop supplies, and these are from True Grit, an abrasive supplier. They're belts for my 6x48 grinder. When I purchased the grinder about a year ago, I got a supply of belts with it. However, they're just aluminum oxide, really designed for woodworking, and I've been tearing them apart on trying to use them for metalworking. And based on the recommendation by Ray Caniglia of Ray's Garage, I decided to try these belts out. So the company is True Grit. I'll leave a link in the description. And I bought two different types. I bought a 6x48, what they call their Blaze ceramic. Now these belts are a little expensive. I'm going to try it. I only bought one of them. And then they have their regular ceramic called the Hogger ceramics. And I bought a couple each of the 60 grit and the 80 grit. I'm going to take and put one of the 60 grit belts on my grinder right now. I've got a piece of 1/4 inch plate that I just cut for a project, and I've got a bad corner on it. I'm going to take and try and grind that, see how it performs. I've got the belt set up on the grinder. I'm going to be turning the vacuum cleaner and the grinder on at the same time, so you probably won't be able to hear a thing. But I've got this piece of 1/4 inch plate that I'm going to try and straighten out the edge. I've got a bad cut on it. Now let's see how it works. I'm impressed. That was quick. That's real time, not sped up. And this corner was at least 1/8 of an inch proud of the rest of the edge. I've still got a little bit of a notch in there, which I'll finish up later. But I'm impressed. I think that's going to work out great. You see something missing in this shot? When I received this lathe, it did not have the threading plate on the quick change gearbox, and I have been looking for one ever since I got the lathe. They're readily available for the 12-inch lathe, but I've yet to see one for the 10-inch, and they are different. They're a different length. The information is pretty much the same. The 12-inch does not line up on the 10-inch quick change gearbox. I'm sure many of my viewers have heard of as Tom Utley, who make new plates and so on, and I contacted him. He did not have it. He's never done one before, and to actually do one from scratch with no real market for it was going to be prohibitively expensive. So I'm going to try something a little different and see how it works. So join me as I make my own custom threading plate for my Atlas 10F quick change gearbox. I was able to get a graphic for the label. It actually came out of the Atlas manual, and I found several pictures of it there. So I scanned it into my computer and I colored it in with one of the art programs, and I have printed it on decal paper. I've made decals before and I've been relatively successful with them, so I'm going to give this a try. I have a piece of tin coated steel here. I would have liked to have used a piece of tin or a piece of aluminum, but this is what I have, and it's called tin plated steel, and this should work out just great. The length is absolutely perfect, and so I'm going to cut it down to width and apply the decal to it. See how it works. I've got my steel plate cut out, and I took and radiused the corners, and I washed it off with lacquer thinner to make sure I got rid of all the fingerprints and so on. This decal, was printed on my inkjet printer. There are two different kinds of decal paper, one for laser printers and one for inkjet printers. So if you decide you want to print a decal, make sure you get the correct paper for the printer that you're going to use. You print it on the paper and then you spray it with a clear acrylic. And I actually did that last night. I sprayed it with at least 2 coats and let it dry overnight. So now I'm going to cut it out and try and apply it. I'll bring you back once I get it cut. Okay, I've got the decal cut out now and it fits. So what I'm going to do is take and soak it in a pan of water. I usually use warm water, not hot, but I just warm it up a little bit. I warm it up a little bit as it seems to work a little bit better. Ideally, I think you should be using distilled water. Fortunately, where I live, our water does not have any minerals to speak of at all in it, and I've never had any spotting or any of the other problems that some people have if they have real hard water. I'll let it soak for a few minutes and bring you back when I'm ready to slide it on. I should note also that there are 2 different kinds of decal paper. There is white background and then there's clear background. This is the clear that I'm using, so anything that appears white on the decal will actually show through as the metal because those sections will be clear. Since you can't print with white ink, the white paper gives you the ability to get some white text, but then you have to match the color of what you're putting it on with your background that you print on the decal. Okay, the decal is coming loose from the backing paper, and I am going to slide the paper out from underneath it. Don't have a whole lot of ability to move it or work it when it's this large. What I am doing is just running my finger over it to make sure that I haven't got any bubbles under it. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to bring you in a little closer. That looks pretty good. I'm going to let it dry overnight and put a couple more coats of clear acrylic on it, and it should be ready to mount on the lathe. There's the finished product mounted on the quick change gearbox. I had originally intended to mount it with some little brass screws, and when I started trying to drill the holes where the pins had been installed for the original plate, they must have been hardened pins or something, and I wiped out 2 or 3 different drills and decided, because I really wanted to get this thing together and operating, I just used some glue and I glued it on. And what I'm going to do in the future is just shift it over a little bit so that I can drill into fresh cast iron, and I will still put the number 2 screws in there, little brass screws to hold it in place. But for the time being, I think we have a winner. That's going to wrap up this video. While I was editing this video, I topped 1,800 subscribers, and that is just wonderful. I never expected that kind of performance out of this channel when I started it up, and I'm absolutely thrilled. I have a special giveaway planned for 2,000, and at the rate that we're going, if it continues to grow, you'll be hearing more about that this summer. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And thank you for commenting and give me thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video.